Yo, y'all come on in here. Have a seat. This is the Just North Sports Show. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. It's back like we never left. That's every Friday night, wherever you get your podcasts, all your favorite apps, Anchor, Spotify, Google, iTunes, anywhere, man. Check us out. Y'all know what the deal is. YouTube channel. Show some love. Slide on over there. Subscribe, share, like, all that. Help us reach that goal. We back in Studio 5 bringing that funk. As Snoop Dogg said, like a whole batch of collard greens.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The college football season is rolling right along. Texas A&M lost against Appalachian State, and what else? Baylor took one on the chin versus BYU.
Notre
Wisconsin,
Dame.
Notre Dame, get them out of here. Like King Dre said, we don't have to worry about Notre Dame making no noise because they already eliminated. I love it.
Yes, sir. Get them the hell up out of here quickly.
Right, we don't even have to discuss.
Why do you hate Notre Dame so much, King Dre?
Hey, man, we've already discussed this before. Hey,
Is it because they didn't give you a scholarship back in the day?
Listen, in the words of my man Greasy, I got all day for anybody that can tell me when they seen Notre Dame show up against a top 5 opponent in any of them bowl games, in any of them championship games. Tell me when they showed up.
Nope. Well, it's been a long time.
As you like to say, we've already seen this story before. I don't want to see them go nowhere and get up there and get Peter Rowe. Wasting my damn time.
Whoa!
Already. Hey, Doc. I think he said that with his chest out.
Damn right I did.
Did.
And to answer your question about a scholarship, I wouldn't have went to no damn Notre Dame anyway.
Come on, my brother.
I like Michigan. I like Michigan and Florida State and Texas. No way in hell I'd have went to no damn Notre Dame.
Doc, why you get him started?
So if Tyrone Willingham would have pulled up at 4A Holloman full 4 year. Come on, man.
Come on, right?
I'm loyal. That's like asking me to play for Ohio State.
Right on.
That's when I get slapped.
Right on.
Yeah.
I think the issue with Notre Dame, I mean, this has been this issue for years, is that they're living off their name and their tradition, and those days have been over. The 80s, the 1988 team, like they're living off that. And nobody that's playing right now they have no clue, they don't know anything about those teams, and so that's their problem. They're just living off their name.
And the fact that they got their own network,
Right.
and they can generate revenue. So let's get to the real nitty gritty. It's all about the money. Why in the hell are we wasting our time talking about Notre Dame right now? This is a whole new week. They out of there. We ain't got to worry about them unless what happened last year.
Because King, this might be the last time we even mention it.
I don't give a damn if it's the last time we ever talk about those sorry sap suckers again. Get them the hell up out of here, man. Let's move on to the real deal. What we got to talk about in week 2. Man.
Right on. Speaking of loyalty and stepping up to the plate and being what you're supposed to be, like I said, Texas A&M seems like
now you're gonna get Juice, man. Rolling.
Well, me and Juice been going at it all summer, and all summer points to this week. That's 7:30, I think, kickoff with Kyle Field and Kyle Station, Texas, the Miami Hurricanes. We're gonna go down there and see what it's about. Me personally, I feel like Texas A&M kind of screwed up the whole college football season. We've been pumping and juicing and waiting for this Saban showdown in Tuscaloosa, and you dropped the ball against. I don't even want to talk about it.
But Jones, but you know what they always say: if you're gonna lose early. But they didn't say the Appalachian State though.
They didn't say the Appalachian State, and that's true. That's an old Bobby Bowden philosophy. If you're gonna lose early. Go ahead and get that out the way. King Dre, what you think gonna go down there in College Station, man? The Hurricanes coming in to beat up on them, Aggie.
Let me say it like this, man. In all seriousness, if Texas A&M does not beat, if they don't beat Miami, it will be it's pointless to even discuss an A&M Alabama game. Period. It's a waste of time. The only other game we should talk about will be LSU versus Texas A&M, only because Uh, Greasy likes the Tigers, and of course we know Juice Man likes Texas A&M. So this is a very important game. It's real important, and the way I'm looking, oh my god,
I was at that game,
yeah,
man.
Jesus,
God,
man.
dog.
Like it's listen, man. I don't know what to say about A&M. And again, I personally feel like the greatest recruiting class of all time. I really feel like that got over publicized because we all know that's not the greatest recruiting class of all time. In fact, me and Greasy talked, you know, off air about who we thought the greatest recruiting class of all time, and it's definitely going to those
Yeah, buddy.
Hurricanes down there. Was it the 2000 Hurricanes
Oh
or
one,
2001?
2001.
Yeah,
Mm,
2001 Hurricanes is the greatest recruiting class in college football history.
mm,
Period.
mm.
Team
As people say,
team also.
argue with your mama because you can't. I dare anybody to find another team that is that loaded with NFL talent
I think we stopped
from
counting after 20, right, King?
man from top to bottom, offensive line, defensive man. You know. Anyway, this ain't that Hurricanes team, but I say this: Texas A&M is in trouble. If they it's this time to make a quarterback change.
Whoa.
It's time to make a quarterback change. That dude is not getting the job done. Period. You are a Power Five conference program with a quarterback that looked like he needed to be on the sophomore team.
Mm.
Mm.
I ain't gonna make my predictions till the end, but
No, we need your prediction right now.
Yeah, we need
you
it
need it
now.
right now.
We don't need to wait. We need it now.
I'm gonna roll the dice, man, and say that this game is actually gonna be closer than what we're probably thinking. I'm gonna
Okay.
give the edge to the Miami Hurricanes 24-21.
Okay. So they said they're gonna go down there and beat the Aggies. Okay, so we got one with the University of Miami. Juice Man. I just want to ask you really serious about this. What the hell happened last week? And tell me why you think Texas A&M is gonna be able to pull this off.
Man. Honestly, man, I'm gonna keep it real. A&M has an issue with playing down to their competition.
Right.
And I think you agree with this that they get up to play the Alabamas. They put all their
Um,
chips to beat the mighty Bama, but then they fall asleep against Ole Miss or Mississippi
At the
State.
wheel.
And what makes matters worse, they fell to a Sun Belt team. Now,
So
I
what's
see
wrong with
what
the Sun Belt?
I mean. Come on, man. I mean, I'm no one respects the Sun Belt teams. Nobody in the sports media. That's why when they do win, it's like, oh my goodness. Georgia State took down a Nebraska team that's been bad for so long, but only because it's Nebraska. It's their name.
Mm.
And so, but I want to get back to this game. I see what Miami is doing when it comes to building a team, and I hate to agree with Jones. I mean, I see what Cristobal is doing,
you damn right.
and the quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, he can play, man. He's got a really good arm. He's got good size. I mean, and he's got great athletes around him. A&M, they need to. This is what they need to do. They need to quit. They need to quiet the noise. They need to come together as a program and stop talking about having a number one recruiting class. Stay focused on each opponent. And I also agree with Dre. They need to. I've seen enough of Haynes King, and he's not it. It's time to
Mm.
give the former LSU quarterback Max Johnson a
Now why you had
chance.
to put that in there?
Hey,
I'm
it's
just
facts.
saying. And the playmakers, Devon A. Chain and Evan Stewart, that's all they
Yeah,
got.
that's it.
So they've got to come up big. And the defense, I mean, they've got 4 and 5 star athletes on that defense, but if the offense doesn't help them out by scoring points, it's not going to matter.
So who you
But
got?
I think in this game, I think they can get to Van Dyke, and I don't see A&M losing twice in a row at home. I got them winning 27-24
Okay, so we're
field
gonna
goal.
split that one. The Don, Greasy with the stats. The Don, the historian. What's going down, man?
I think at times, Doc, I think you can misjudge talent, um, and you can overrate somebody, and maybe that's what this recruiting class, and maybe that's what the scouts at A&M are doing. A&M had two tune-up games. Sam Houston State, great school. They've been very competitive, moved up, and then Appalachian State. And I talked to you guys with this off air that you cannot schedule the Louisiana Lafayette, Appalachian States, the Arkansas. You can't put these teams on your schedule and go in there uh, blinded or
Hmm.
blindfolded because you will get ambushed.
Right.
Miami had two tune-up games with Bethune Cookman and Southern Miss, but Miami took care of their business. And I know A&M, it's a playoff caliber team trying to win a title, prove a point to the SEC, but I'm not feeling too confident. I would love to see them rebound. I think A&M comes out with a sense of urgency with that Appalachian State game in the back of their minds
Okay.
that, and they force the issue, not realizing that this is a new game, a new opponent, and I think I like the Hurricanes in this. I think I like the Hurricanes.
All
Um, I'm not going to say they're going to beat the brakes off of them, nothing like that, but I think it's going to be exciting, and I'm going to go with a 28-24 score.
Okay, so we all looks like everybody agrees that it's gonna be a close game. I'm Canes all day. Just to poke the bear, I cheered a little bit for Ohio State. I cheered a little bit for the Gators. I cheered a little bit for the Sooners. I cheered a little bit for Tennessee, just to poke the bear. But in heart of hearts, I'm a Cane since Michael Irvin and those guys. And way back when, first Hurricane game I saw was the loss against Doug Flutie. So I've been rocking with them pretty steady. And Cristobal is trying to build something down there, and it starts with the defensive line. Starts with the offensive line. You have all the skilled players in the world, wide receivers, running backs, all that good stuff. But if you don't have the big boys up front, like Deion Sanders said, you got to have those big beasts up front to compete. So if Miami doesn't get back to Jerome Brown, Cortez Kennedy, Russell Maryland, Vince Wilfork, Ray Lewis, Jonathan Vilman, those cats in the front seven, Michael Barrow, all those cats in the front seven, then it's not going to matter. And some of the offensive players they've always had a good offensive line. So it starts up there. But one thing about those Texas A&M Aggies, they get up for the big teams, and it seems like they get caught slipping. And they got caught slipping last week. And it's it's a hard place to play. Confident can be an intimidating place to play. I think Miami's maybe 2 years away from really, really just being like, okay, now you got to pay attention to what we're doing because now we're running up the score and doing what we're supposed to do. So with that being said, Van Dyke is good. A&M's going to come out fired up. A&M knows they're basically playing for their lives. And Jimbo Fisher, if he loses this game, it's going to get real, real, real warm down there on Welvin Road 2818 down there in Costa. That's what that's going to be. So with that being said, my heart of hearts wants to say Miami's gonna go down there and beat them 51-7 and the smoke and stomp and dirty dance and all that stuff, but that's just what A&M does. They beat Alabama at home. They beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. They beat Oklahoma. So with that being said, I think they take care of business against
Well, check
Miami.
this out.
I think they rattle Van Dyke a little bit. The wrecking crew's gonna get out there. I'm gonna go A&M 28. I'm gonna go Miami 20.
Okay.
Might be the difference in this game. If King doesn't start and Johnson starts, that might be a difference making this game, and that might make me want to sway my pick.
I can see them pulling King. late first quarter, I can see them pulling. If they go down 7-3 and the
Yeah,
offense
I
is
can
not
see it
really
too.
moving, I can see
So,
them pulling.
fellas, what did Appalachian State do best against A&M?
Ran the ball
Ran the ball.
over and over and over again.
What about defensively?
They controlled a lot of scrimmage front seven. They got after Hayes King. They took away his first read and forced it into their only playmaker, A Chain.
Okay, so you don't think Miami can do none of the above or aforementioned?
I believe they can.
No,
I
no,
believe
Miami can. What I'm saying is, if they switch quarterbacks, that
I
might
don't
make
think
it.
it's gonna matter. I
You don't
think
think
that
your boy can come in
because
and
well,
pull the Aggies up?
well, King, like you said earlier, whenever you was talking about me, I've seen this story before. Remember when Appalachian State beat Michigan?
I do.
That next game, that that whole season was like that's all. It's like that game was embedded in their brain. You're not
right.
playing them no more, and and, and you didn't,
I,
and they didn't understand that.
I do see what he's
So
saying.
you're gonna take lump after lump after lump till you realize I'm not playing them no more.
I do see what he's saying because that loss followed Michigan around that whole year, and I remember they had a lot of players coming back specifically to go to a Rose Bowl. They win that championship, and after they lost against Appalachian State, it kind of went downhill. But we're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna roll right on along into believe it's a 2:30 kickoff down in the hills, and Auburn, Alabama. We got the Nittany Lions of Penn State. They're traveling to SEC country. Traditionally, teams from up north don't do well. I'm interested to see how it goes down though.
Mm. I think we all are.
Hmm.
Is this the first? No, was that the Sugar Bowl? No, that was Georgia and Penn State with Herschel Walker.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
Georgia Penn State.
is this the first meeting?
No, last year this is
No,
actually
they met
scheduled.
last year.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
up in Happy
yeah, they met
Valley.
last year.
Yeah, Penn
Yeah,
State got the dub. It was a tough ball game, a good ball game, real good ball game if I remember correctly. So they got a little home and home thing going on.
Oh, okay, okay. Uh, well, I guess I'll go on and light this fire. I see King want to sit back. I guess he got to collect his thoughts. Penn State, Big Ten school. They are ranked, coming in strong, and they played so-so opponents, and Auburn, same thing there. We're not late in the season to where I could just, Auburn with San Jose State. That is what it is at the end of the day, and so I really can't put a spin on it, other than you know, of course you played Mercer, but where I don't even know where that's located. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Uh, as far as team wise, I think I like Penn State in this game. I mean Auburn, like you say, Doc, about the Canes. I don't think they're quite there yet, even though it's an SEC team. Yes, this will be the second SEC team that I'm going to pick again, and I think I'm gonna roll with a Big Ten school. The weather's nice. They're gonna come down here. Not too much humidity down there in Alabama. I'm gonna have to roll with the Tide on this one. I'm gonna have to roll with the Tide. I
the
mean, not the
Tide.
Tide. I mean the Nittany Lions. See, I'm ready for
Okay.
Alabama. I'm ready for Alabama. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm gonna have to roll with the Nittany Lions on this one, man. Y'all have to forgive me on that one. Everybody out
Hey,
there listening.
It's all good, man.
Uh,
so you're gonna roll with the Nittany Lions, and I'm gonna say this: I'm probably gonna have to roll with the Nittany Lions as well. Um, I'm looking at just the stats that they put up. I was about to say these teams are pretty similar, and the one difference is the quarterback, though, man.
exactly.
Man, the quarterback for Penn State, man, Clifford put up, man, almost 500 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. Now I don't take too much out of it, I don't take too much away from that, but the running game for both teams was pretty good. Both running backs rushed for, one had 210, one had 198, and I don't know, but I'm just gonna take the. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna take the Nittany Lions. I'm just gonna lean toward the Nittany Lions, only because I just don't think Auburn is ready yet. They haven't been back in a while. They haven't been the Auburn of what was it
Cam
20?
Newton.
Yeah, yeah. I give you that one, Cam Newton. So we'll see, man. We'll see what they can do. I don't think they'll pull it off. I don't even think it's gonna be close. It might be close like uh through two quarters. Third quarter is gonna get bust open. I'm going big, like 41-21.
Ooh, I ain't even giving my score. I was gonna say something like 31-24. But yeah, oof.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
think that man. I think it's gonna be a good day.
They said 41-21.
Man.
Mm.
No
Well,
respect.
no respect, huh?
Nah,
Well,
these boys ain't ready.
well, this was a very competitive game a year ago.
It
But
was. Good game last year.
the only thing Penn State's going to have to find their replacement for Jahan Dotson, who's now with the Commanders. I mean, he was huge for them for Penn State. Auburn, I mean, everything is centered around their running backs, Tank Bisbee and Jacquez Hunter. They have no weapons at receiver, and so I really think that's going to be difference in the game. Like the question is, where's the offense going to come from the Tigers? And
Mhm.
we know both teams. They've always had pretty good defenses.
Well,
But
Juice,
I
like I
just
just
think,
said, they running
yeah,
back. He rushed for almost 200, really 200 yards, three
yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah,
Tank Bigsby.
yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give the edge to Penn State. Um, I know playing in Jordan Hare is tough for any team, but I think the Nittany Lions will go in there and get it done. I'm gonna say by a score of 26-17, Nittany Lions.
Oh, okay. See you, juice. See you, juice.
See,
How about it, Doc?
man. So what's that? 2-3? What's that? Greasy,
That's
you going
three
with
all
Auburn?
for the Lions.
3 all for the Lions. I thought you said Auburn. Trying to convince him. uh, man, let me check this out. So Penn State doesn't have an offensive line. Auburn's pretty good on the defensive line. I like the action up front. Auburn doesn't have any offense. It's down south. It's 2:30. It's SEC football. I'm just going to play it safe here. I'm going with Penn State's inability to protect the quarterback and Auburn's depth
Mm-hmm.
on the defensive line to play some
Mm.
SEC smash mouth football. I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb with this one. 2.5 point favorite, Penn State. I can see Auburn winning this one by 6.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I'm going to
Oh,
go Auburn.
so Penn State, you don't even have
interesting
them
pick.
covering the spread.
I don't even have Penn State covering the spread. I don't even have them covering the spread. I'm going to go a low scoring defensive game. I'm going to go Auburn 19, and I'm going to go Penn State 13. So I'm just gonna do it like that. I need to try to separate myself and I'll pick them. I need to try to. So that's why I'm going with Auburn to beat them boys down here in the South. They not ready for it. They're not ready for it at all. And I don't know who the hell picked this game to even discuss. Oregon versus BYU. All I'm gonna say about that is I'm going with BYU because they punched Baylor in the mouth. That was a real good game. Late Saturday night. I think it
But
was
is Baylor that good though?
Baylor's okay. I'm not gonna say Baylor's world
Hey,
beaters, but they're pretty
Baylor's
good.
Big 12. Baylor won the Big 12 last year, correct?
They're pretty good. They're
Yep.
pretty good. You would think that if they played on a neutral site, Baylor would probably beat them. We get it, it was in Provo and all that good stuff. But to see BYU line up and play as physical of a ball game as they did, I was impressed with that. Oregon just got curve stomped, whatever you want to call it, against Georgia. Like I said, I don't even know why we're discussing this game. I'm going BYU with this one, 24-20, just because. I'm going
Just
BYU.
about. Okay. Anybody want to take it? Juice man.
The
Man,
quack
I can't
attack
really.
is coming back, baby.
Oh
Quack,
no.
quack,
Oh no.
quack,
You
quack,
remember that out. Hell no.
quack, quack. The quack attack is coming. Man, let me stop the foolery. Let me stop fooling y'all. The quack attack is getting shot down like Duck Hunt on Nintendo back in 1986. That's what's going on.
Oh
Well,
man.
the dog gonna hop on the screen. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know
I
what
know that
happened.
dog hopped on the screen week 1. The Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a very interesting game, and I don't have Oregon winning.
Mm.
But I don't have them getting blown out for some reason. I think they're going to hang around long enough to put a scare on BYU. But BYU is going to eventually get the dub, and I'm saying 28-14.
Mm. Juice man.
Man,
I'm gonna go last in
this.
case y'all didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and make it quick, man. I saw what Oregon looked like against Georgia, and I mean we all saw it. And BYU, even though they're not really a powerhouse team, they always seem to play hard against the other power five schools. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the edge to BYU as well. They're gonna make the game ugly, and so I'm gonna give the edge to BYU. I'm gonna say uh, 24-20.
Mm.
Damn, that's pretty close.
Well, fellas, I think with that first game of the season, I think Georgia really put a bad taste in Oregon's mouth. I mean, that was just a shellacking. And is BYU like a Georgia or no? No. Are they like a no? They're not. They're not even like Alabama. BYU, yeah, they beat Baylor, but that is a Big 12 school, and defense is that of a minimum. This game is out there in Oregon. Uh, I think I'm gonna be the oddball, and I think I'm gonna roll with the Ducks.
Not so fast, my friend.
I think I'm gonna roll with the Ducks.
I'm rolling with the Ducks too.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I was saving that one.
I think
Yep.
I'm gonna roll with the Ducks. I like the
okay.
Ducks. I'm not saying the Ducks gonna compete with the fellas down there in the Coliseum down there in LA. No, I'm not saying that. But I do think they get by on this one. I like the Ducks to open up that offense, do some things that they tried to do with Georgia that they couldn't quite do. I like the Ducks 28-13 in this one, fellas.
Ooh, and
Okay.
I got to make sure I get my score flipped right. Oregon Ducks 24, BYU 21.
Okay.
Okay.
And we can put a loss on King Dre in college football. We can put a loss on Greasy in college football. Juke man, have the slides ready
You gonna be
next week.
upset, Doc. Be upset if we pull it.
Oh,
Have the slides ready. But we did switch it up a little bit. We jumped into a little bit of the offensive and defensive player of the week as we transition into the NFL. Week 2 saw some good games. If y'all missed the recap, slide on over to their Facebook page, the Just Know Sports Show. You'll see the fellas handling business. Real good show. Everybody gave their prognostication on what they saw and trash, Trey Lance, and all that good stuff. But that's neither here nor there. So we jump into the NFL offensive and defensive players of the week. Defensive players of the week in the AFC, I went Khalil Mack. And
Return of the Mac. And I'm a Raider fan. Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac against the Raiders. That was a real good ball game, too. That was a real good ball game. I came from, but he did end up with 6 solos, 3 sacks, and 3 tackles for a loss. I didn't get the pro football fantasy or pro football numbers on his pressure rate, but he made the play after he faced Mass Carr, missed up. Yeah, they missed that call.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I thought I was the only one that saw that, but I wasn't gonna bring it up.
After he forced the fumble, that was it. There was not another play to be made, so I gave it to Khalil Mack. And the AFC probably made a mistake on that. And I think I made a mistake on this when I jumped the gun too soon. On this one, I did go Michael Parsons. I'm a huge Michael Parsons fan. He had 4 solos, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for losses. But after further review, I am going to go with Dev White.
LSU, baby.
I am going to go with Dev White.
Tigers.
So you'll see the picture of Michael Parsons, but I'll go with Dev White. It was not only his sacks and his pressures, but Tampa's defense, they jumped everything short. They did not allow Dak to get into a rhythm. So he got a lot of deflections and a lot of those. He almost had a couple of
Dallas cannot stretch the field.
They can't.
So the defense is going to squat on the slants, the curls, what the screens, whatever you want to do. We there.
Right.
Because
nobody strikes the field.
Did you really just say that? And they got a number 1 receiver in CD Lamb.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
On the
they got
field.
number 1 receiver. Yeah, okay.
Nah,
Wake me up before you go.
No, he ain't no receiver. My comparison for CD Lamb when he came out of college was John Taylor for San Francisco. So by default, he's a number 1 receiver. Hell, they don't got nobody else to throw the ball to, but I think he's a more of a complimentary receiver. Offensive players of the week, I went with Justin Jefferson. I mean, what can you say? They got the new offensive coordinators or new offensive scheme.
Balled out.
Yeah,
11 targets, 9 catches.
So he's going to get he's going to get a lot of work. He's going to get a lot of that Cooper Kupp action. And
we still believe Cooper Kupp is not a top 5.
I believe Cooper Kupp is a top 5. I don't believe he's the best.
Hold on, Doc. I'm going to run down the top 5 receivers in the NFL. Let me run them down. 2 of them are from LSU.
Okay.
Jefferson, Chase, and anybody can argue me on this. Jefferson and Chase, Devontae Adams. What I got now? 3.
Yep. You better go to
DeAndre
Arizona.
Hopkins.
There you go. Finna say
Debo Samuel. That's 5. Y'all want me to keep going? I can make the list.
That's fine. I'm waiting for Michael Thomas to do his thing. He came
balled
back.
Out. He balled out late.
He got him 2 touchdowns and he ain't played in a year. So, but I'm gonna give Cooper Kupp his problems. I'm gonna leave the man alone. But Justin Jefferson, he showed out in the AFC.
Did they win?
What can you say? Patrick Mahomes. I mean, just look at those numbers. It don't look like he missed a beat. 94 QBR, 5 touchdowns, only missed 9 passes and threw for 360. So that was a no-brainer there.
Doc, check this out. The Cardinals left the buses running with the bags underneath.
I'm trying to tell you. And the Cardinals supposed to have a good pass rush, and they didn't bother him at all.
But they lost Chandler Jones to the Raiders.
They did.
And Patrick, the guy from LSU corner, he's no longer there. So it's old faces in new places. That's all it is. Cardinals lost some pieces, and Hopkins sitting out.
Right.
Gonna be out a while, so I think a lot of that plays in hand.
Right. But that's just a little section of the show we're going to be adding here. We got to keep this thing pushing. We're on a time budget here. That's just a little section. Be on the lookout for that heavy game. NFC and AFC offensive and defensive players of the week. But anywho, nevertheless, the NFL is moving right along. Like I said, stomping on into the fall. We got some pretty interesting ball games. We don't want to Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. Detroit played a very, very good game last week against the Eagles. And the Commanders, they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, I didn't really think Jacksonville was going to go in there and beat them, and they did what they were supposed to do.
But got a little tight, though.
they are heading to take on the Detroit Lions, and traditionally, I was a big Sean Taylor fan. I've seen them go up to Detroit and have some games where it's like, man, y'all should be blowing the Lions out the water, and it doesn't happen. Carson Wentz, he gave us all what we expected out of Carson Wentz. He looked like the Carson Wentz that was on his way to winning MVP before he got hurt. Foles takes over. They win the Super Bowl, and then he throws 2 bonehead interceptions. Then he comes right back and he hit McLaurin and he hit Dotson, and Washington was able to pull off with that. I'm impressed with Detroit. They fight.
Yeah.
We'll fight you. Just looking at some of the game that I did catch with the Eagles, they were down, 21, 14 points. An older Detroit team would have laid down, and that game would have got out of control, but they fought. And I'm impressed with their head coach and just the mentality. If you want to win, it starts upstairs, and they're going to fight. In this particular game, I think Washington drops the ball. I think Detroit gets their first W. I'm going Lions 27. I'm going to go Lions 21. So I'm jumping out. I'm going Lions with this one because I've seen Washington go up there and struggle.
Hey, Doc, you and I on the same page. I got Lions 28, Washington 24. But let me tell you this.
Okay.
Here's the one thing that stuck out to me about both of these teams. They're actually similar. And to me, it's going to boil down to who's going to make the play on defense. What I didn't like about Detroit was their safety, Tracy Walker, and Jeff Okadaya. I think if I did not pronounce his name right.
That's correct.
They
Jeff
led the
Okuda.
team in tackles. Mm-hmm. So if your safety and your cornerback is leading the team in tackles, what that's saying to me is that defensive front ain't getting nothing. That defensive front ain't getting no push. And if your defensive front can't help you out, man, it's gonna be a long day.
But on the Young side, still out, Doc, for the Commanders.
Chase Young is still out. That's what I heard.
That hurts.
On the flip side, for Washington, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Their secondary led the team in tackles, except for their Cole Holcomb. He was the lone linebacker that added 5 tackles. Other than that, the secondaries are both leading the defense in tackles.
That's not good.
That is
the Redskins in week 1 and the Jags.
Commanders.
Oh my! Excuse me, fellas. You know, I love the NFL historian, but yes, the Commanders, they couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. I sat there, I watched them against the Jags, and that game really could have got out of hand. They really should have just put them away, put that knockout punch, but they really couldn't. But I'm gonna let Juice. I just want to interject that, King.
Yeah, it's basically like I said. It's boiling down to who is gonna make that defensive stop or that play or that, like you said, the critical 3rd down. Like I feel like I'm just gonna ride with the Lions, man. And the Lions did have another thing to add. The Lions did get a good running game too. So as long as DeAndre Swift can keep, moving the chains like that with the running game, 15 carries, 144 yards and a touchdown, that'll definitely help him because the Washington Commanders running game was putrid. But hey, nonetheless, Lions 28, Washington 24.
All right, Juice, man, what it do?
Man, both these teams have been pretty bad for quite some time, but I actually think that the Lions overall are a better team than the Commanders, specifically at the quarterback position. You got a quarterback and Jared Goff that's been through a Super Bowl, and I kind of feel like he got a raw deal, but I think he's good enough to lead them. They also got pretty good skill position players, and I like the addition of Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive line. I think they can get after what's his name, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz he's a disaster of a quarterback, and so I actually think the Lions can make.
You're gonna just throw that out there.
I think it can get ugly. I'm gonna go Lions big. I'm gonna say Lions 31, Washington 17.
Juice, I should mute you because you said Aiden Hutchinson was a good addition. I see the Michigan bias coming off. I see the Michigan bias coming off.
Hey man, he was their number one.
I see nothing but maize and gold fumes coming off the screen. That's Michigan bias. I saw Aiden Hutchinson take like 3 consecutive plays in a row, and you talk about you positioning him on the defensive line. I'm finna mute you just for that. And we're gonna let Greasy go ahead and take us on with this one.
Now you guys know, in regards to the Lions, I said they weren't the worst team in the NFC North. I gave that to Chicago. I'm gonna stand on that. I did say that I don't Panthers will challenge uh, for the NFC East.
Okay.
A lot of people pick the Cowboys. This and that. The Commanders, like I said, when I interjected with King, that really couldn't get off the field. I saw bonehead defensive issues. Offensively, it was a bunch of what the hell. And the Lions, I seen this story before. Just like last year, 49ers jumped out to this outrageous lead. They climbed back just like they did with Philly. The next week, come out fired up. With all that being said, I still believe the Bears are the worst team in the North, not the Lions. It's the Bears. And time will tell. I like one. I'm not gonna say rah game. I like the Lions in this one. 20.
Okay. Okay.
Close.
Okay. You say you're gonna keep it close. So we're gonna stay with that NFC East thing. And the Giants got their first road victory
Yeah.
in a long time. Now, was I surprised? No, because I kind of picked Tennessee to struggle this year. I kind of had them at 9-8. Matter of fact, I didn't even pick the Titans to make the playoffs. But you would think, okay, you still got Derrick Henry and a defensive line that can get after. What I wasn't expecting was Saquon to be Saquon, and what did he have? 18 carries, 156 yards. So he basically controlled a lot of scrimmage, and they were able to. Well, Tannehill's not going to beat you anyway, so that was kind of a knockout, drag-out type of ball game. But in come the Panthers, and they are off a loss to Cleveland in the waning seconds. Kareem Hunt with 2 touchdowns. You got the G-men. They're playing good defense, and Saquon's doing his thing. Daniel Jones still leaves a lot to be desired, throwing the ball. Kenny Galladay. There's Tony, some of those guys. They need a good tight end, but their defense is playing well. The Giants are playing really, really good on defense. Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, Baker Mayfield, Panthers defense, they get after a little bit too. It's still early in the season. I like the Giants. And I did not see this coming, but I like the Giants in this one because of their defense. I'm not a Baker Mayfield guy. I just don't believe in him. I believe he's a tough quarterback. He'll get after it, but in this one, I'm going Giants, and I think the Giants win this one. Kind of mid-score. So I'm going to pick Giants 24. I think the Panthers get around 17, 20 points. So I'm going to go Giants 24. I'm going to go Panthers 20 in this one. I think the Giants move to 2-0, make it interesting in the NFC East.
Doc.
You know what, Doc? Go on, get it, King. Go on, get it.
Doc, man, we on the same page, man. So I'm gonna throw it out there like this. I got the Giants 21, the Panthers 17, but not so fast. The one thing I want to say is this: the weakest link on this Carolina front that you're talking about with Baker Mayfield, McCaffrey, and Anderson is McCaffrey. Oh my Lord! I have a better game.
I was going.
Man, listen, last game this man had 10. He was worse. He was worse than my man from Dallas, Zeke. This man had 10 carries for 33 yards. My nephew in 7th grade had more rushing yards than that. That's not gonna get it done, bro. You can't help Baker Mayfield like that. But on the flip side, here's the flip side to this. It's not like Jones at quarterback was any better.
Right.
Like he wasn't any better. Saquon Barkley did his thing.
He did.
But in order for this to work, Jones is gonna have to play a way better game than what he played, man. That's not cutting it, bro. Like Ken Walsh threw for them kind of yards in high school, bro. Like what the hell is going on here?
People like that, King.
And I will say
You
this
gotta
too:
disrespect, go to junior high, high school. Come on, my brother.
the Panthers defense actually, the Panthers defense was flying around, man. They were out there. That defense was looking good, man. They were flying around as far as making those tackles. It was multiple people making tackles. Yeah, I think the whole damn defense got a tackle. But with all that being said, I still feel like the Giants are
Yeah,
gonna pull this off
yeah,
21-17. And that's just what it is, man.
yeah.
I feel like that they're gonna pull it off, man, because if McCaffrey has another 10 for 33, that ain't gonna work.
No, that ain't gonna work. They're probably trying to keep him safe. But we're gonna slide. Greasy to Don, what you got? Panthers or the Giants?
Well, I'm gonna start off talking about the Panthers first. I was very disappointed. The offense looked flat. Uh, Maybe it was because lack of season. Um, you, you know, I'm gonna give everybody that excuse that came out flat. Juice man. Uh, but Mayfield picked it up and he came on strong. It was the Browns and Deshaun. There's no Deshaun out there or not even Baker over there to maintain the continuity, consistent of the offense. So uh, Brissett is also learning on the fly and learning new system as we peg along. The Giants, I was very impressed.
Me
I
too.
looked up, I saw the score, and I was like, well, that's what I expected.
Hmm.
The game turned on one hit.
Yep.
It was a off tackle or what was that, Drake? King? What they trying A or gap? And Derrick Henry. Now we didn't see Derrick Henry run over people, but he got caught up. He got caught up. He got caught up like Usher. Caught up. Look, yeah. And I feel as if the game turned on that lick.
It did.
If the Giants can neutralize, I'm not saying Tennessee's bottom of the barrel team. I think I had them competing in the South with the Colts because the Jags would be the worst team. The Texans are a better team. Uh, if they could do that, looking at his schedule, I know somebody. He's from Brooklyn. He's a big Giants fan, and I even picked the Giants. You know, I told him, I said, man, your team got a good chance to go 4-0. I'm gonna stand on it. The Giants will be the surprise in the East,
Hmm.
as the Eagles be the class, and the Redskins be there with them. It's gonna be a three-horse race. Uh, Cowboy fans, forget about it. I hate that I mention y'all. I like the Giants in this one, fellas. Game is at home. Uh, I hate to be sound like a broken record. I've seen this Panther team before. It's not gonna happen. I like the Giants. They could get they sitting at 4-0, and everybody gonna be like, well, they beat Tennessee, but they played the Panthers, the Cowboys,
You
and
got to beat who you beat.
weaker, lesser opponents. So I'm gonna go with the Giants in this one. I like the G-man. I like the defense. Saquon, almost 200 total yards of offense. He have a chance of getting, if you stay on this pace, getting 2,500. No, yeah, 2,500 for the season. I like the G-man. I'm gonna take the G-man in this one, fellas. Let me get 17-14. G-man.
Right on, Juice. Real quick, we got about 8 minutes left in this show. We gotta
All right,
move,
yeah,
fellas.
man.
Sorry about that, fellas.
Okay, yeah,
No, you
man. This
good.
game, this game is probably one of the hardest to call, but I think the fact that the Giants got a really big road win. I think they're gonna ride with the momentum and go home, and Saquon having a great game. I think it's gonna continue, and
Mm.
also the reason for that, Carolina's got some injuries on their defense. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Giants as well. It's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna say Giants 24, Panthers 17.
Right on, right on. So we got a giant sweep in that one. Nobody will be making up any ground on this one. And this is the Chris Berman, Tom Jackson type fastest 6 minutes 6 minute segment, a 6 minute segment in American podcast broadcast history. We got what I think is going to be a pretty good ball game. We got the Baltimore Ravens, and they're going to be taking on the Miami Dolphins. I don't think either one of these teams are the 85 Bears or the 1991 Philadelphia Eagles or the 76 Steelers or the 74 Raiders. None of that. I think this will be a low scoring defense game simply because of the fact that both these teams like to run the ball. Lamar Jackson isn't Dan Marino throwing the ball, and Tua, we know what Tua is. So I'm going to go, and Miami defense gets after it, but the offense is not it's not explosive. That's the point I was trying to make. But I'm going to go low scoring on this one. I'm going to go Dolphins 16 with this one, and I'm going to go Ravens 14. I think the Dolphins get the dub over the Baltimore Ravens.
King.
Pretty.
Must be having some difficulty. What about it, Juice, man?
Yeah. I'm really happy for Tua. He looked good last week. He's got speed all around him with Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Ravens got some injuries, especially in the secondary. Marcus Spears is questionable. Kyle Fuller towards Achilles.
Mm.
And as far as the Ravens offense, J.K. Dobbins is questionable, and two of their offensive tackles are hurt as well. I'm giving the edge to the Dolphins. Dolphins go into AM&T Bank Stadium with a 10-point win, 27-17.
He said it to the offense tackle hurt
Oh.
as well. What about it, Greasy?
Hey, y'all, look at here. I know somebody picked the Dolphins, and I picked the Patriots to finish second. But what I've seen, based on week one, I know it's week one. Everything could be an overreaction.
That's
Um,
true.
in regards to the Dolphins, they got after it last week. I think they came on strong here, made the playoffs, could have made the playoffs. They've been playing good football despite a change of coaches. I love Waddle. And like Juice said, Tua in the passing game, they got Kenyon Drake. Uh, I hope I didn't mess that up. Toting the rock. Lamar Jackson, all you can do is cover up 89 Andrews. There's no more Marquise Brown. They struggled with the Jets a little bit in the beginning.
Exactly.
Ah,
They struggled with the Jets a little bit in the beginning. Then they hit they late. I don't think you hit your stride at all this week. Then we get the Steelers 21 and the Ravens 13.
ooh.
What about
Man,
it, Dre?
Hey man, all I'm gonna say is 23 from 33 for 270 yards and a touchdown. And they got Tyreek Hill. 24-21 Dolphins. And yeah, I just don't I don't see the Ravens. I don't see the Ravens getting this game, man.
Yeah, I just have a hard time picking the Ravens with this. I know Lamar Jackson's gonna do what he's gonna do this year. This is the contract year, and I think he wants every bit of 300 million guaranteed. Considering that Deshaun Watson got 230,
Hey Doc,
I
can I
know,
make
I
this
know
quick?
he's gonna ball out. Yeah,
Doc, I'm gonna make this quick because like you said, fast 2 minutes in football. Lamar Jackson's gonna be the first quarterback in the NFL or the new era to play out a contract and not get paid. Thank you.
oh man,
Damn, Jimmy. Boy saying not get paid.
well, here's the interesting thing about it.
He should have took that 133.
Something is telling me that Jackson actually wants to be a Raven, but actually wants to be in Miami. But that's neither here or there. And if you get Lamar Jackson and he's got Tyreek Hill, dude, you got a track meet going on down there in South Beach. That's a new 19. That's a new Dan Marino rookie
Well, that's
record.
Joe
Boy,
Rat
it
Sneaky
was
right
good.
there, Doc. That's Joe
Yeah.
Rat Sneaky.
I low key think he's trying to make his way to South Beach and team up with Tyreek Hill. But anyways, we're gonna get on up out of here. This is the Just North Sports Show. Don't forget to check us out every Friday night. That's 8 p.m. Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast. And thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We're gonna slide. We'll catch y'all next time. Y'all be easy. We'll holler.